Hey guys, welcome to this week's episode. I've got a little bit of a treat for you guys, and it's sort of a long story, so I'm going to give you the cliff notes if I could. It's sort of rare that you get a boat and you actually know the history of it, all the previous owners, where the boat has lived and been moored and all that kind of stuff. With Lady K, we really lucked out, and we don't tell this story very often, and it's such a good story. I think it actually deserves remembering, deserves to be talked about. So, you guys may or may not know this, but Lady K has a big sister. And today we're going to be taking a tour of Lady K's big sister. And when I say it's her big sister, there's a lot of reasons for that. She's also, both boats are Sparkman Stevens, both boats are made by Hughes, both boats were stamped out in the same factory, like, very related, these two boats. But anyway, the story starts in the late 70s, and in the late 70s in the Windsor Yacht Club right across from Detroit, there were two guys, they were best buds, and they were sailing together and they had boats and everything. Well, the first guy went and wanted a brand new boat. He was in a good financial place, so he went to the Toronto Boat Show and he bought a brand new boat. And that's Lady K's big sister. She's a Hughes 38. So brand new, late 70s, I think she's a 78. And then 2 years later, the other friend of the two best buds went to the Toronto Boat Show and bought himself a brand new Hughes, but she was a Hughes 35, and that would become Lady K. So these boats were bought brand new, right from the boat show, by two best buds. Anyway, so the 78, they both went to the Windsor Yacht Club. They both, you know, did the next 15 years, I think, in the Windsor Yacht Club. And both of them are on trophy plaques and different things for winning races at the Windsor Yacht Club. I've been through there. I have some family that's there. And we were able to actually see both boats' names on winning, you know, winning plaques and things like that. And actually, the bigger one, the 38, has a stained glass window. The Windsor Yacht Club has stained glass windows, all custom made with members' boats on them. And the 38 is actually in one of the stained glass windows, so it's super cool. Anyway, so as the story goes, the boats got split up sometime in, you know, the late 90s or something like that. And the bigger boat, the 38, ended up going somewhere else. And the smaller boat, Lady K as it were, ended up here at this yacht club in the Thames River Yacht Club in Lighthouse Cove. So Lady K was here for years and years and years. And then we bought her like several years ago. She went up for sale. She was a good price. The time was right. The money was right. So Candace and I bought Lady K. And we started sailing Lady K, having a great time. Well, my best bud, and you guys may know Jay. Jay's been in a few of the videos, some of the earlier videos. He came down to Annapolis when we were sailing down the East Coast. Jay's been in a few videos here and there. And he's my best bud. So anyway, he wanted to go and get a little bit bigger boat. He was on a Cal 25 at that point, and I was on a CNC Redline 25. So we got Lady K upgraded from the 25 to the 35. Well, he went boat shopping, and lo and behold, as I'm sure you can guess, he ended up buying Lady K's big sister from LaSalle, which is like past Windsor, past Detroit. So he brought that boat home, and we didn't know that the two boats were related at all. So I think it was a year or two into us owning both of these boats, and now they're racing together again and sailing and owned by two best buds. We went down to Windsor for just a weekend. We go down to the Windsor Marina, we hang out for the weekend. Well, I was on Lady K, and my cousin Brian, who's in the Windsor Yacht Club, saw on Facebook that I had checked into the Windsor Marina, so he popped over on his Beneteau First, which is a beautiful boat, and he had just gone to the Caribbean, so he was giving me some pointers because we were about to go on this epic voyage. Anyway, he started talking about Lady K, and he said, well, it used to be called this. And I said, well, what do you mean? How do you know the boat? And he's like, the boat was raised in the Windsor Yacht Club. It was bought brand new in the Windsor Yacht Club. I know everything about that boat. I installed the refrigeration on that boat, on Lady K. So like, whoa, small world, right? And we go on talking. He tells me about the first owner and the second owner, both members of the Windsor Yacht Club. And then I bought it from the second owner. But anyway, he gives me the whole history of the boat, and he said, yeah, whatever happened to the green one? And I said, what green one? And he said, the green boat, the green sister boat to this. And I said, what, that one right there? And sure enough, Jay had come down to Windsor, right? And he was docked a little ways down the dock. And I said, that one right there? And he said, yeah, that's this boat. That's called this. I installed the refrigeration on that one too. So he knows the whole history of both boats. Both boats completely grew up racing together from brand new up until they were, you know, 20-something years old. Both boats raced each other, owned by best buds. And then lo and behold, years and years later, Jay and I end up with these two boats, and we reunite them. And now they've been running together ever since. So it's just a really epic story. And that's what I'm going to show you guys today. So they're both Sparkman Stevens boats. Lady K is IOR, and Jay's boat is called Torin, and Torin is not IOR. So there's a big difference between the boats, and if you're going to go cruising, I urge you, do not get an IOR boat. I won't go into the whole rundown of what IOR means, but basically boats were built in the IOR era to sort of cheat the rules. They shrunk the water lines down and made it so that if you run on a big heel, your water line comes back. And it was a way to cheat the rules. And there was a bunch of other little compromises made to the safety of the boat in order to cheat the rules and get more speed out of the boat. So Lady K's got the tumble home, very fat in the middle, boat tumble home's out, so that's the first thing to hit the dock whenever you park her. Big overhanging in the back, big overhang in the front. Jay's boat, Torin, doesn't have any of that stuff. She's very much just a PHRF everyday race boat, and she is very, very fast. She wins a lot of races. She's significantly faster than Lady K. Lady K's win in at about, with the crane guy said it was 13.8 when he lifted her, but she had no mast, no sails, all the tanks were empty. So 13.8 dry weight with no mast. Jay's boat's closer to 18. So Jay's is also a 6-foot draft. She sits on the cradle. You need a 15-foot ladder to get into her. It's wild. Jay's boat's a lot bigger, taller, longer, heavier in every measurable way, faster. So we're gonna go check it out right now, and I'm gonna show you guys a boat tour of a 38 Hughes, Torin, Lady K's big sister. Let's go. Okay guys, here we are in Torin. One of the things that's important to understand about the Hughes 38 is that she was sort of made famous by Fatty Goodlander. Fatty Goodlander, the big sailing novelist, sailing writer, he writes articles in Cruising World and all that kind of stuff. He had one of these for a number of years, so he loved it. He said a lot of good things about it. So the boat has some pedigree. There's a number of Hughes 38s all over the world, Caribbean, you know, crossing oceans, all that kind of stuff. And she's roomy. You guys obviously know Lady K really well if you follow along with the videos. So you can tell right off the bat, this boat is a lot bigger inside. She's got a lot more space. And you'll have to mind the mess. We had her out the other day, and we absolutely thrashed Lady K and this boat. We had them like rail in the water, just absolutely bit overpowered, but we're having a great time. So there's just sort of stuff everywhere. And the big quarter berth in this boat is full of this foam, and I have to admit that's my fault, because that's my foam. It's extra foam from a project, and Jay had agreed to sort of hang on to it, so he's had it for a few years, which I sort of feel bad because it's obviously making a mess and taking up space in his boat. But Jay typically just races this boat. He overnights on it here and there. But anyway, some key factors that make this boat different from Lady K. We have the Volvo engine under the stairs there in the companionway. That's a 3-cylinder Volvo diesel with a sail drive. This boat, on the other hand, has the engine down here in the keel. So we'll pop that open for you guys so you can see it. There you go. So a big old Yanmar in there. I think it's a 3G Yanmar 3-cylinder. Got a bit more power than Lady K's Volvo. And it is an actual normal drive. You can see the shaft. And if you look, you'll notice that transmission is brand new. Jay just put a brand new transmission in this boat. So she runs nice, and she'll cruise along at a really good hull speed. No problem. The engine doesn't even have to try. The downside is you get this lump in the middle of the boat. But when the table's down, it sort of blocks that. So I know it was repowered at some point. Oh, it's hot in here. The boat was repowered, so it had something else in it. I don't know what. I think these might have come gas with an Atomic 4. Jay will have to, you know, correct me on that. But it's been repowered with the big Yanmar a long time ago, so it's all done right. It all runs perfectly. Everything's awesome. But the transmission was being squirrely last year, so he just put a brand new transmission in it. So that is cool. It's got a microwave. He's got the regular, same as Lady K, the 2-burner. Actually, I think that's exactly the same stove and oven as Lady K has. Same flip-down table. You find that in all the Hugheses. Flips down and then folds out, and then there's sort of a wine rack behind it. Lady K had these rollers for your doors so nothing falls out. We actually took the rollers out of Lady K and we put in, you guys have probably seen them, they're black canvas with twist locks. So we didn't like the rollers. They take up a lot of space in there. because they roll up into a sort of a coil at the end. So you lose like 6 or 8 inches of your cabinet space. Anyway, yeah, so he's got storage under here. The icebox is super cool because, well, it was refrigeration. Like I told you, my cousin Brian actually installed refrigeration. Well, this one failed a number of years ago, so that hasn't worked since Jay's owned it. But the cool thing about this icebox is it's right there. And if you're outside and you need a beverage, it's right there. So you can actually get into the icebox from inside or outside, and you can grab yourself a cold beer no matter what's going on. So it's pretty cool. Nice, nice thought there. Jay's done, outside of the brand new instruments, Jay's done a new depth sounder, new speed, temperature reading. Come back down here. You'll notice the quarter berth is significantly bigger than Lady K's. The settees are about the same. And then his V berth is a lot bigger. So we'll go check that out. We have the same sort of chest of drawers right here with the hanging locker. All the woodwork is exactly the same. You can tell like the same guy did all the woodwork. It's very, very obvious. But then he's got these sort of end tables with drawers. Lady K does not have these. This whole section of Lady K doesn't exist. The bed starts sort of here. So it's nice. You see that, you know, there's an extra 18 inches here. And then the V berth, of course, normal V berth, big hatch. And then the head in this boat is even bigger. And one of the things you'll notice is Lady K's mast is right here. Well, in this boat, it actually comes down in the head. So there it is. So normal Jabsco pump out head. Jay hasn't done the Nature's Head thing yet. I wouldn't put it past him to do it because I think he approves of composting toilets. He just hasn't done it because, you know, he's not living on this thing. So, and we have a pump out here in the club, so there's really no point. Yeah, it's got running pressure water. It's got cabinets. All the same stuff you'd sort of find on Lady K. The mast is a lot taller, however, and because it's not IOR, it's actually quite fast. That settee, you can see the slides. So that settee slides out to make sort of a two-person sleeping arrangement there. Wheel steering. Big winches. Self-tailers on the cabin top. It's also got door aids up either side of the mast. There's door aid vents. He hasn't actually put the scoops on yet, but they're door aid boxes, so water can't get in, but air can. And I asked him, like, if I could take a tour of this boat and show you guys around and let you see Lady K's big sister and hear the cool story about the two boats. And he said, yeah, and also it might be for sale. So there is that. I know he's in the 20,000 area, but for a 38-foot world cruiser, I think that's a good place to start. She's got a couple of soft spots here and there in the deck that are going to need to be addressed. Otherwise, she's a fantastic boat. Like I said, brand new transmission, new depth, new speed, all that stuff. Pressure water works, the stove and oven work. Yeah, the steering's in great shape. Everything else on the boat's in great shape. So yeah, for the 20,000 area, everything's led aft. You see the big blocks on the bottom of the mast. And then you got your self-tailers to sort of handle everything. What a fantastic boat for the price. And she'll go anywhere in the world. Fatty Goodlander will attest to it. So awesome boat. Very, very awesome. Hope you guys like it. Hey guys, if you like this episode, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more episodes, hit the subscribe button and hit the little bell so YouTube actually tells you when a new episode's been released. I want to do something a little bit more for the patrons of Lady K Sailing. Those are the people that become patrons on Patreon. So patreon.com/Lady K Sailing. I don't want to take away from everybody else, so we're just going to try to give more to the channel. So one of the things I want to do starting next month is all patrons will get new episodes on Thursday instead of Friday. So they get it a day ahead of time. Also one-on-one chats with patrons. A lot of you guys ask me for video calls and stuff like that to run things by me, or to, you know, just have a discussion about things that you're thinking of doing to your boat and stuff like that, just to get my thoughts. I'm no expert on anything, but if you need somebody to bounce things off of, I'm happy to help. So we're going to open that up to patrons and different things like that. So stay tuned for that next month. We're going to put a lot of effort into trying to give more to the channel and give more to people who support the channel. But as always, we're happy to do whatever how-to videos or whatever you guys want to see in every Friday's episode. So hit us up if you have anything you want us to do. We'll see you guys next week.